Hello everyone, it's Omae and welcome back to the brand new video. Today we are back for another one versus all team, but now up against level 200 plus against Rodo, Garp, as well as Colan. So this is going to be a speed team as well with no stall as well as wave clear to make sure it's a very fast experience and that you can get your dailies done as soon as possible. So let me show you the team here. Now, we are just using any -2 cooldown ship. It really doesn't matter which one. This is our main wave clearer, Zoro. He's great for giving us 2 tons of cooldown and then also being low cooldown himself. He does not need to be super evolved and he also does not need level limit break. So base Zoro is good enough. Just make sure that he has this potential ability maxed out. And I don't think you need limit break expansion either. But then we have the stars of the show. Number one is Carrot. So we're starting off with her as the captain. She allows us to get around all the defensive effects on stage 3s of the bosses. Her special will allow us to get around defense up on stage 4 and also special rewind on stage 4 of the different bosses. And then we also get the captain ability, of course, to get through the defensive effects. She needs her super evolution and she also needs level limit break 5. Well, I mean, you don't necessarily need level limit break 5, but it will be harder because you'll need to burst through the enemy defense up on stage 4 of the PKA Garp, which is definitely possible. I mean, it will be quite difficult, but mainly damage is what you're getting from her level limit break. Nothing functional besides the defense down, so you could possibly burst through it, and I'll explain how to do that later on if you only have her super evolved without the level limit break. Now this is the other star. Robin and Crocodile, if you saw my previous team, we also used them there. This character is just so good for damage and for utility. Goes so well with the Memories Kuma, the Int Legend that we are using. We can get 2 color affinities. We have weakened status 3 immunities here. And as a captain, Robin and Crocodile states that if Kuma uses his special, the enemy gets increased damage taken, which goes so well with that weakened status. So that plus the chain boundary, the second color affinity that this unit is providing as well, is such a massive damage amp. But also we have the utility factor. They poison enemies, so against Colan on the final stage we can get around resilience. They remove defense up. On the final stage of Garp PKA, there's a defense up which you cannot get around with defense down. The enemy has immunity to it, so this is great for that as well. You can also use their captain shift to swap them between being the captain and being the sailor. And you want them to be the sailor because in 2 of the PKAs, both Rodo and Garp, there is going to be blindness. And this character gets around that. So extremely irreplaceable unit here. Very powerful. And also a very important detail is that against the Colan PKA, the enemy is a quick type unit with weakness class to striker. So the Missile Sunday form is perfect, having both type and class affinity. You'll see how much of a difference that makes. But then of course the generics, Nikabani as well as Memories Kuma. Memories Kuma, I mean, the rainbow slots is kind of one of the most important parts, but also the EX Super giving the captain a second activation of their special is so powerful. Also got a bunch of healing, and there is going to be a death hit on Rodo, so that is important. The bind reduction is important against Colan and Rodo, and then the special bind is important on Colan as well. So very important unit here, also giving a lot of cooldown, damage, double color affinities, set target statuses. I mean, this unit is just irreplaceable, man. Now this is probably like the most replaceable character on the team. We're running quick super type law, super class law should I say. So this character is going to give us an attack boost, give us cooldowns, a chain growth rate buff, but most importantly against the Garp boss, who is a strength type, who has weakness to free spirit class. This unit is going to be our main DPS, and the fact that they're cerebral means they're getting boosted by both the Robin Crocodile as well as the Nikabani captains. So perfect types and classes here, while also giving us the damage we need. We get no attack boost or chain growth rate buff from our other characters, so this is great, right? But he's really only used for damage basically. And just to talk about like limit break expansions, I don't have my Robin and Crocodile limit break expanded, so you definitely don't need that. But for Nikabani, yes, you do need the limit break expansion. You don't need level limit break on anyone besides Carrot. And yeah, just Carrot. But for Nikabani, 100% you need the limit break expansion. I think you also need it on Kuma, but not too sure on that. But you definitely need it on Nikabani. But this is going to be our friend captain, so you will see a lot of people running this unit as their captain, but you rather run your own Nikabani on one of your friend slots, just so that Bandai gives you a reflection of your own Nikabani, who hopefully has limit break expansion, just that you reliably have a good friend captain every time. That's what I'm doing here. So even though I'm using this team here, which you guys can now see the support characters we're using as well, we are going to run Nikabani on this side here, so that Bandai gives us this Nikabani as a friend captain without relying on other people putting Nikabani up and having them limit break expanded, right? Much more reliable. But now let's discuss the support abilities, right? We need Buggy, we need Corazon, we need Tashigi. Everything's necessary here. It's a very tight-knit team here. We have mainly attack down and bind reducing supports. Bonnie gives the attack down reduction of 3 turns, another 2 turns from Tashigi, and then another 2 turns from Corazon. That gives us all the turns of reduction we need. But then we also have the bind, which is very important for Buggy, because against Colan we get 15 turns of bind. So 12 goes down to 12 turns with Sockets, down to 9 turns with Robin and Crocodile's captain effect, which reduces 3 turns. Another very important detail from them. And they also extend the orb boost from Carrot from 2 turns to 3 turns, allowing it to last until the final stage. I mean, this unit is just unbelievable, man. And they also give us damage reduction to survive the Rodo death hit. This unit is just too good, man. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. That's giving us 3 turns from their captain effect, bringing the bind down to 9 turns. Kuma's special removes 7 turns, so we're still left with 2 turns of bind, and that Buggy removes those final bits so that we can use the law special against Colan, so that he's free from bind, of course, right? And then Peckham's, since our Carrot is the captain, she does not have access to her Sailor effect to resist special rewind. So against the Garp PKA boss on stage 4, we do get a lot of special rewind, and we need to use Carrot special to give the enemy defense down. I mean, he does have defense up, right? So we need Carrot special, and we need the special rewind negation. And since she's the captain, we need Peckham's to reduce her cooldowns. And I'm pretty sure there's no replacement for that as well. So that's about it. That's the basic rundown. You don't need Zoro 6+ nor level limit break, but you do need it to be max potential ability for cooldown reduction. And then you do need the super evolution of Carrot, but as to her level limit break upgrades, I don't think it's necessary, but it will make it a bit of a harder time against stage 4 of the Garp boss, as you'll see in a moment. You do need the limit break expansion on your friend captain Nikabani, and then none of the other units really need specific upgrades. So let's get straight into it. I think you can get Tashigi right now from the metal exchange. Yes, here she is. So this Tashigi is the one that super evolves into the attack down reducing from the support effect. So you can buy it for 100 medals. It's definitely a worthwhile investment. I don't think the Corazon is available here. Now, to be clear, the amount of HP that happens from level 150 to level 200 is quite substantial. Level 200 is roughly 12 billion HP, which I believe this can easily handle, as you'll see in a moment. But when it comes to level 300, we move up to 10 trillion, right? Now, I don't think this team is cracking 10 trillion. It might approach the damage cap, so it will reach like level 230 or something like that. But beyond that, I highly doubt it. We do have some damage limit break units like Kuma and Nikabani on the team. So depending on how this goes, I might change out Zoro for someone that gives you more damage. And we can definitely reach even maybe to level 300 with buffs, right? So it could be cool to see that. I definitely think when you replace Zoro, this team can become beastly. And remember, we are running at least one DPS character for all 3 bosses. So against Rodo here, he is a Psy character. So all of our int units like Nikabani, Kuma, as well as our No, it's just them two. But those two, they have type advantage. Yes, they don't have the class advantage because Rodo has weakness to strikers. But since we have 2 units, it's good enough. Because on the other bosses, we have 1 character only with type advantage, but that character also has class advantage, so our damage is basically the exact same. So that's one thing I really love about these teams, is that, or this team should I say, is that the damage is basically the same on all 3. So stage 2, you can see that we use Zoro, very quick wave clearer. Stage 3, we can use Carrot, reduce enemy defense to 0, and then just 1 tap with Nikabani. Perfect. We can ignore the damage reduction, of course, by Carrot's Captain effect. Very, very powerful. And remember, Carrot is giving 2 turns of cooldown to everyone as a captain. Nikabani is giving everyone 3 turns of cooldown as a captain. So our cooldowns are looking very good. Now Pekim's activates there, but he's not really helpful in this situation. So what we're going to do is use our Kuma special, and then Nikabani EX Super, and this will allow them to perfectly get their cooldown. If you don't have Nikabani expanded, they will not be ready at this point, and you'd have to use EX Super of Kuma and then Carrot Special again to get them ready, which massively hampers your damage, as you'll see in a moment. It's way better to have Nikabani expanded. You can use this special here and not waste anything more, right? But yes, what we're gonna do here is use the captain action, or captain shift should I say, of Robin Crocodile. So make sure you start off in Robin's form. I didn't stress that at the start, but it's very important, otherwise the captain shift will not work. But now we have our Crocodile as the captain, although I don't think it really matters here. Yeah, no, I hope you didn't follow my instruction there, because I just realized something. On the final stage, our captain, our top row and our bottom row gets binded. We do not want Robin and Crocodile to get binded yet, so rather better to keep Carrot as the captain. Sorry guys, it's very late. I need sleep, man. I don't know. It's been PKA the whole day, man. PKA and cleaning up. My setup was absolutely disgusting, bro. But now everything's perfect, bro. Cleaning a mechanical keyboard, bro, it takes way too long. And if you guys have been wondering, like, why I haven't had like a lot of videos up recently, like since PKA came out, I've just been like busy constantly with PKA. I've been trying to make a 1 versus all team auto plus that can handle up to level 200, but that was just way too much of an ask. Even if I was able to get a team to work past level 100 plus on auto plus against all 3 bosses, the damage would be so bad that it really wouldn't even go that far. So not as much value there, and it's just way too difficult, even with these amazing characters that I'm showing you here in the video. So it's much better to give you guys a 1 versus all that can easily handle 200 plus. It'll work for a very long time, and it's still really powerful and fast. But yeah, keep Carrot as the captain. We're gonna tap here, and bye-bye Iskat. And as you'll see, the top row and bottom row gets binded. But we need to first get Robin and Croc in their dual form before we use Kuma's special to release the bind. This is important because Robin and Crocodile's captain effect that reduces or allows us to inflict the enemy with increased damage taken when a Kuma uses their special. This only works in their dual form. So we need to first go into their dual form. First swap them to the captain, of course. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, the captain effect will not be active. Use this special. This will give a chain boundary, enemy weakened status. And now we can use Kuma's EX Super to give Robin and Crocodile a new life, and then also give himself that cooldown, right? So now we can release the bind, turn the color affinity into stackable. That was the same color affinity from stage 4, so that's really nice. Now we can use Robin and Crocodile again. This will stack the color affinity now, and then also give the super type, which we will deactivate captain shift. This is important detail. We need Carrot to get through the barrier and damage nullification, and then finally attack up and also chain growth rate buff from what's his face, Zoro. I mean, Law, man. Now I really wish we could activate Carrot special again here, I'm sure I can make the team better because we need that orb boost from Carrot. Here's what it is. The damage is still going to be crazy, as you'll see in a moment. So our Nika Bonnie. Oh, remember we have set target status on the enemy. That's a pretty big detail. Even though we don't have a lot of beneficial damage buffs on our side, we give the enemy set target, increased damage taken, and weaken status. And remember, we had that Super Tandem and Super Tandem boost from Nika, Bonnie, and Kuma. Very, very powerful. Even though this is definitely the weakest boss, you'll see in a moment, like these other teams, we go absolutely insane. And bro, this is what I mean. Even if you're not getting dupe drops, you get 3 heims for clearing this. I mean, yes, this is kind of lucky situation, but regardless, like the rewards for clearing the boss X's is way more valuable than just dupe dropping the Daimyo turtles, which only give 100,000. Okay, so let's go up against Garp. Now, this one I think is like the damage is just unbelievable. We have basically every damage boosting effect here. Stage 3 we can basically fully ignore. It's just defensive effects that Carrot ignores, and then also the blindness that the Sailor effect of Robin and Crocodile gets around. Stage 4, defense up, Carrot special gets around that. Rewind, Carrot special gets around that. The bad orbs, we still have rainbow slots, and we can ignore the barrier. So that's pretty nice. And then the final stage, we just use everything, and we can ignore the instant burn, which is awesome. And also, this is just a cool tip, but if you sort your friend list by time, it'll show all of your Bandai friend captains. This is just the captains that you have up right now on your team slots. So we can see my own Nika Bonnie here very clearly, which is kind of awesome, right? Also, why is the background not there? Like, is OPTC glitching? Or am I fighting Garp in the void? What's happening, bruh? Why you do this, bruh? So, I mean, Zoro, I was using Shachi and Penguin, which is a more modern double special activation wave clear unit, but their special is way too slow compared to Zoro's. They also don't give enough cooldown. They were really cool though, since we used them for wave clear on stage 1 and 2, but then we could still use them on later in the quest for attack down removal. But since we have the Tashigi support on Zoro, we really do not need Shachi and Penguin's special here. And as you can see, Zoro is just so much quicker. We rather use Zoro on stage 1 there because we didn't want to get through those high defense turtles easily. What we're going to do here is just quickly activate the Super Tandem and kill with Law. If I could hit a perfect, right? But that's the cleanest way to kill very quickly against Kujaku there. Prince Groose, defense up. It is times 5,000. Now, if you think about defense ups that we can actually just burst through, times 5,000 is somewhat formidable. Usually you can burst through times 1,000. Times 10,000 is a big no-go. But as I said, I don't think you need level limit break on Carrot. Now, key detail here. First, use Captain Shift. Remember, Robin and Crocodile extends orb boost, extends color affinities. So the 210 orb boost from Carrot will last until the final stage if you first make Robin and Crocodile the captain. Now, if you don't have Carrot level limit break 5, the orb boost she gives will only be 1 turn. So this really won't matter to you anyways. But if you have a level limit break 5, make sure you do this. It'll give you an orb boost for the final stage. That's about it. We are just gonna try and hit goods to get through the barrier. If you don't care about the orb boost being lasting until the final stage, so also if you're fighting lower levels like before level 200, you can just keep Carrot as the captain and then just get through the barrier anyway, and then just use Captain Shift on the final stage. That's fine as well. You don't need the bind reduction from Crocodile Captain effect moving into stage 5. That's only against Colan boss, so you can just keep Carrot as the captain, ignore the barrier. That's definitely a possibility, but as I said, you'll lose damage on the final stage by not having an orb boost. But for me here, I'll be hitting my greats. Thank you very much. And bam. Nice. But yeah, if you don't have Carrot level limit break 5, and you're not removing the defense up or giving the enemy defense down, should I say, your best bet is to just keep Carrot as the captain, because you can't hit great and then still burst through the defense up. That's not how things work, man. Definitely keep her as the captain if you don't have a level limit break 5. Now what we're gonna do here is use Nika Bonnie special, conditional boost, and that's it. Just a conditional boost, but it's pretty nice. And the defense, the despair reduction, chain multiplier buff from EX Super. We can then go into the dual form of Robin and Crocodile. First go into the dual form, then use Kuma. Just keep that in your mind, otherwise you won't give the enemy increased damage taken. It's just such an important detail. Color affinity, increased damage taken. Then we can use EX Super again, turn it into a stackable color affinity. Also very important, first use Kuma's second activation, then Robin Croc's second activation. Otherwise you won't turn the first color affinity into stackable, and you'll only get one color affinity in the end if you don't do like this. We will deactivate the captain shift because the enemy has damage reduction. We need Carrot's captain ability. And then the attack boost from Law. So I mean, just take a gander here, guys. We have an attack boost, we have an orb boost, we have a color affinity, we have a second color affinity, a chain boundary, chain growth rate, chain multiplicative buff. We have inter-territory, cerebral territory. Enemy has increased damage taken and weakened status, and we have a character with both type advantage and class advantage in Super Tandem Law. So yeah, very strong team, and also a conditional boost. I didn't mention that. So let's just activate Super Tandem, although it's very unnecessary. Let me just tap on the law so you guys can see here. That's without Super Tandem as well, and Super Tandem boost. Just think about that, and without even building up chain. Like, yeah, bro, this team, this one will get to level 250. I can confidently say that, man. It'll be insane. Now, I was talking earlier about turning this into a high damage version, and I mean, we haven't used any last tap or rush abilities on the team, so I could replace Zoro with someone who gives a very powerful last tap, like in regular legend Lilith. She has an ability that allows us to essentially double our damage dealt by cerebral units, which, I mean, we're running a full team of cerebrals besides Carrot. And then she also gets around despair and attack down. Lilith is actually a really good character for this PKA against Colan, because on stage 4 we get both despair and attack down, and the final stage has resilience. And Lilith's special, it reduces despair and attack down and gives a 3-turn end of turn damage, which will last until the final stage, getting around that resilience. I mean, definitely consider that strongly if you're still struggling to beat Colan and you can't per se build this team. Then yeah, use Lilith, use Robin Crocodile, use all these characters like Yamato Ace that are just so broken for this PKA. I mean, level 100 plus against just a singular PKA has kind of become a joke. I mean, it's way harder to make an auto plus and then to make a 1 versus all out of that, but just going up against one boss 100 plus, it's very easy. You just have to find the right units, spend some time just researching what works best before you run headfirst in. That was not smart. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, kids, stay alert, man. I mean, if we use Kuma that early, his 3-turn color affinity will be gone by the final stage. We don't need to use the stage 3 here. We can get around the damage reduction by Carrot's captain effect. Just start the Super Tandem and then kill with Robin Croc, who has type advantage. Very easy. And that special bond we can remove on stage 4 instead. So I mean, once again, there's going to be despair here, so Nika Bunny will have to be used early. I should turn on my phone on do not disturb before recording, bruh. Like, what is this? Okay, attack down, removed with support effects. Very nice. And since we actually have a color affinity from the Nika, the Bonnie support, we can also, that's another reason why we need to run Nika Bonnie as a friend captain. We can't have the support of Bonnie on Kuma and also have our own Bonnie on the team. So we can use his special. This will free us from special bind and give Nico Bonnie that last turn of cooldown they need, and also give us 2 color affinities. Remember, overrideable color affinities have that amazing effect of Kuma providing his original color affinity and also the stacked one. It's a very strange thing, but overrideable buffs are just so good in Treasure Cruise, man. So Nico Bonnie, and that's all we need to use. We'll still have Kuma's color affinity for the final stage. Don't worry, we'll get another stacked color affinity boost. We will bring in this 3-turn one, which is all we really care about. I mean, this is only 1.25x. Remember, the support only gives 1.75x, reduced by a 0.5x, so this is really nothing. And then use Captain Shift. Very important detail. And then Carrot special, we do get silenced the middle row, so silence will prevent Carrot from being able to use a special. So make sure you make Robin and Croc the captain first. Extended or boost, extended color affinity, and we're going into stage 3 or stage 5 should I say, looking really good. So Nico Bonnie is the only way to get through the barrier here. They have the barrier piercing effect on themselves. If you have low investment on Nico Bonnie, maybe first build up your chain or do super tandem before tapping on them, because no one else is getting through that tandem or barrier. Now there's gonna be threshold, resilience. We're gonna ignore the threshold later on. Carrot will become the captain again. You'll see what I mean. The resilience, the poison from Robo Croc will get around it. And now we can just use the swap. Remember, we need that Robin form for type and class advantage. Use a special to get into the dual form. And now we can use Kuma's stuff to give the enemy increased damage taken. And also stack the color affinity from stage 4. And then Robin and Croc's second activation will give us the second color affinity. We can use Chain Multiplicator from Nico Bonnie. As you can see, their law is finally freed from bind thanks to Kuma's special. Perfect 15 turns reduced, no more, no less. Use his special for an attack boost, chain growth rate buff. And now disable Captain Shift and also increase the enemy's increased damage taken by 0.25x using Robo Croc's super type. And now it's an easy kill. Enemy increased damage taken, weaken status, attack boost or boost, color affinity 2, chain multiplicative, chain growth rate, chain boundary. It's pretty good, right? Let's just start the super tandem. Oh, never mind. No need to even waste our time doing that. Bye-bye, Colan. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to support what I do, I mean, I spend a lot of time building these teams. I mean, it would make it much quicker if I just did individual teams and didn't focus on the whole auto plus thing. So I'll try to be more paced out in the future, trying to get like as many teams to you guys early on that are more like solo each boss, and then I can in the background work on these 1 versus all teams, level 90 auto plus, which I will myself use later on once I've reached border 6 safely in this PKA. But for now, I'm using these teams to stage up for all 3 bosses, and I think it's the most convenient way to do it. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, of course, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.